wanna be a motherfucking hustler. You better ask somebody.
What's up, guys? You're listening to the MFCEO Project. I'm Andy. I'm your host, and I am the motherfucking CEO. Guys, what is a motherfucking CEO? Okay, does it mean you have to own a company? Does it mean you have to own a business? Do you have to be an actual CEO? No. And if you listen to this podcast, you've heard this a million times, but we're always getting new listeners. So I want to go over it again. Guys, you are the CEO of you. And if you don't have that mentality and you don't take that mentality, you're going to have a struggle in life. It's going to be a struggle anyway, but you're going to have a lot more struggle. You have to take responsibility for making the right decisions, for doing the right things, making the calls for you. And if you don't make the calls for you, guess who's going to make them? Somebody else. So why motherfucking? Why the MF CEO? Well, you know what? Being an MF CEO is a lot different than being a CEO. It's about having an attitude. It's about having a killer instinct. It's about being a bad motherfucker. It's about having confidence. It's about having swagger. And that doesn't mean walking around like a jerk off with a feather boa and thinking you're big fucking pimping. No. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine with me too. Okay. But what I'm talking about is just having the belief in yourself to kick ass on a daily basis. That's what this podcast is about. It's not just business. It's about life, okay? And usually on Tuesdays, I'm joined by my co-host, Vaughn Kohler, a.k.a. Vaughn the Impaler, the pastor of disaster. He's not here today. And so we're going to just say, hey, we're going to skip a week and not do a podcast for Tuesday. But I started thinking about it. I've got some time, and I figured I could just put together a short, little different variation for you guys to talk about because I have a couple things on my mind. Normally, our podcasts on Tuesdays are very practical. They're very applicable to life. They're techniques that you can actually use. And then Thursdays, we do Thursday Thunder, which is straight up in-your-face motivation, all right? So today, we're going to do something a little different. It probably won't be a very long episode, but I have some things I want to discuss. I want to start with a story, okay? It really doesn't have anything to do with what I want to talk about today, but it's a good thing to keep in mind, all right? Last night, I had 115, 120 of our employees from Supplement Superstores here at First Form headquarters, which is where we record the podcast. And most of them are dudes, all right? It's just the nature of our business. It's a male-oriented business for the most part. We have some females, and they're fucking awesome, but most of them are dudes. And we have only right now 3 bathrooms in headquarters. Okay, so I went in last night to pee because, as you guys know, if you follow me, I am doing. I've been on a strict diet and workout plan for the whole year, which means drinking a lot of water, which also means I piss 7,000 times a day, okay? So I go in the bathroom, and I reach down to flip the toilet seat up, and I get a motherfucker's piss on my hand. And let me tell you something about having another man's urine on your fucking hand. It does not make you happy, okay? I was literally infuriated. Not just that I had some piss on my hand, but way more so, which I don't know, it seems kind of weird, but the really the thing that pissed me off wasn't that it was piss, it was that somebody would actually piss on a fucking seat in our building. You talk about what that stands for, and I want you guys to think about this in your life. If you can't aim your dick into the toilet and piss into the toilet, and I get it, sometimes a little drop might get on the fucking seat. But if you can't clean it up or take consideration or do what needs to be done to leave the toilet clean for the next person, what can you do in life? You are literally capable of fucking nothing. And I flat out told our whole company that. I went out, and that's how we started the meeting. Because I feel like paying attention to the little details, taking pride in the little details, guys, is significant in everything. All I see on Facebook every day is bitching and moaning and crying, complaining about other people. Well, dude, if you just led by example by not doing things like pissing on a fucking toilet seat or cleaning it up at least, or picking up the trash in a parking lot, or taking out the trash in your office, or doing the little things that are just need to be done, think how much better the world would be, guys. You know, these little things, they're indicative of your character. And it might sound funny. Actually, there was a kid that laughed last night when I brought it up, and I really almost like wanted to grab him by the fucking throat and kick him out of the fucking meeting because it's not fucking funny. You know, these little things are character traits of how you do everything. You know, I've said it a million times. How you do one thing is how you do everything. And if you can't piss in the toilet correctly, or at least take enough effort to wipe the fucking dribbles off the seat, bro, you are not going to make it in this life. You're not. So if that's you and you're listening to this and you think you could get by doing half-ass shit in some areas and do great in other areas and make millions of dollars, it's not going to happen, guys, because it's a habit. It's a character trait. It's a value. It's the way you are. And so if you want to cultivate the proper habits, you have to look at the finite details and execute on them all the fucking time. Okay? So that's my little story. It's not the topic of the podcast. It's just my little story about taking pride in the details and how that's going to affect your life. Okay? I don't know one successful person out there that fucking would do something like that. All right? So don't be that kind of person. Be the kind of person who fucking does shit the right way. And when I mean do shit the right way, do everything the right way, because you're creating a habit of value. All right? So guys, what I want to talk about today is a little bit more involved than, you know, some pee on the toilet seat. I want to talk about one of the reasons that people talk about why they can't succeed. All right? And I get hundreds of emails every day from people, and they always have the same theme. The theme is, Andy, I don't have the resources I need to succeed. Andy, I don't have the money I need to succeed. Andy, I don't have investors. Andy, I don't have rich parents. Andy, I don't have this or that or whatever, okay? And dude, when I hear that and when I see that, I automatically know that this person doesn't fucking get it, and they're probably never going to get it. Because at the end of the day, guys, lack of options and lack of resources is your greatest resource. Okay, let me give you an example of our business. Okay, Chris and I, my business partner, we never had investors. We didn't have money. Okay, we had to earn every single thing that we did, and we had to earn every single sale, every single growth, every single piece of this business. We had to earn the hard way. Back then, the internet wasn't around, man. We had to fucking, you know, go door to door and meet people and do shit that like people just don't even think about doing anymore to gather up the business. All right? We didn't have a fucking choice. And listen to what I just said. We didn't have a fucking choice. Zero option mentality. That's what I'm talking about here. Don't forget that. Zero option mentality. All right? We did not have a choice but to go out and do everything we had to do in order to succeed. We didn't have a trust fund to fall back on. We didn't have cash to fall back on. We didn't have parents that were going to bail us out of shit. All right? We had to go out and we had to fucking grind and earn every single bit. And here's the thing, guys. I've gone up against people in my business that have had way more money than me, who have been financially way more deep than we are in our pockets. Okay? And here's the difference. When you lack resources, it forces you to come up with the tools that you're going to need to succeed long term. Okay, I'm talking about things like creativity. Okay, things like skill in your business space, things like grit, things like endurance, and the general resourcefulness that you're going to need to succeed long term. They're all forged by having no fucking money and having nobody to depend on but you. Okay, if you can't understand that, you're missing a big piece of the puzzle, because these people who have big investors and who have a lot of money and who have people backing them, their answer is always going to be to spend more money. It's going to be to throw money at a problem and fix it. And unfortunately, that doesn't always solve everything. All right. You have to come up with good ideas. You have to strategize properly. You have to become a true expert at what you do. And those things are a lot harder to do when you could just throw money at problems. All right. So if you take two people who are in the same business space, and one is well-funded and inexperienced, and one is not well-funded and inexperienced, and you take them and look at them 20 years later, most of the time, the person who wasn't well-funded is the stronger person and the stronger business, because they had to actually learn their shit. So guys, when you bitch and cry about having no resources and having no money and having this, you have to start understanding that that is an awesome advantage to your business. Okay? Resourcefulness and earning these skills, the grit, the endurance, the creativity, the things I talked about, that comes from the lack of resources. Lack of resources is the ultimate and completely necessary teacher of success. Okay, most people don't ever make it where they want to go because they give themselves mental outs. All right, and a lot of people who have resources, they have other choices. They can say, oh, this is fucking hard, so they quit. They could say, oh, this business doesn't make enough money, so they quit. When you don't have any other option but to succeed, your chances of success are pretty fucking good. Okay, so that most people go through life, guys, looking to make themselves comfortable. They look to like save a lot of money, and I'm not giving you financial advice here. I'm just using this as an example. This is what they say. Save a lot of money, have my house paid off, be financially secure, blah, 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 blah. And they look for fucking safety. They look for comfort. And I'm going to tell you right now, most super successful entrepreneurs who have all the money in the world, who have no worries of going broke, who have who could live forever on their money, the reason they have the success they have is because they're willing to continually leverage that success into new things, aka put their fucking back against the wall over and over and over again. Why do you think that is? Why would Elon Musk spend all the money that he fucking made from PayPal on two other businesses? Okay, because dude, being in a zero options mentality is where all the great shit of entrepreneurship and success comes from. And you don't necessarily have to go out and be somebody who has zero options. I'm not saying go out and spend all your money. I'm not saying go out and make irresponsible decisions. But what I'm saying is learn how to appreciate and more so cultivate the mentality of having zero options. I say it all the time, zero options mentality. I was talking to my team last night. They were asking me about my workouts. And they're like, well, dude, I don't know how you do that cardio every day because it's fucking, the hill you're on looks brutal. And you know what? It is fucking brutal. But you know what my choices are? My choices aren't, oh, I'm going to go out and do it or I'm going to not do it. My choices are, I'm either going to do it now when I get off of work when I get a break from work at 6:30 at night, or I'm going to be doing it when it's fucking dark. I don't have the option of do it or not do it. It's do it now or do it here in a little bit when it's dark. You know, I don't have fucking option to not do it. And that is something that is valuable, guys. You have to learn to train your brain with a zero options mentality. You have to learn to seek out to be uncomfortable, not trying to be comfortable. You have to try and put yourself in positions where your back is against the wall, guys, because when your fucking back is against the wall, that's when you're gonna fucking fight, okay? You're not gonna fight when you have $30 million in the bank, or for some of you guys, $10,000 in the bank, or $20,000 or $100,000. You're not gonna fight for that. You're going to say, oh, I got enough to blah, 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 to live for this much long, and, you know, I could chill and blah, blah, blah. Because that's human nature, man. You get a little bit of fucking coin, and you chill. And you wait till your coin gets down, and what do? You start fucking fighting. So what if you could take that mentality of fighting and have it all the time? What if you could take that mentality of putting your back against the wall and have it all the time? That's what I'm talking about, guys. Zero options mentality. You have to learn to cultivate it. You have to learn to appreciate it, because most of you guys listening, let's be real, you're in a zero options mentality. You're in that for real right now. It's either I'm going to be successful and I'm going to make a lot of money, I'm going to do well in life, or I'm going to be fucking living a life that I don't really want. I'm going to be, you know, living paycheck to paycheck. I'm not going to be able to do the things I want to do. You are in a realistic zero options mentality. Your back is against the wall. You're either going to succeed or you're fucking going to live a life that you regret. Okay? For me, I'm in a position financially to where I really could not work. But you know what? I choose to set my goals so fucking big that most people could not even comprehend them, which makes me be and live and exist in a situation that is zero options. I don't feel like I've accomplished anything. I don't feel like I'm successful. When people come up and say, oh, congrats on all the success, I want to fucking slap them in the face, because they can't comprehend my goals. My goals are not to be where I'm at. My goals are to be the best at what I do in the history of the fucking game, and everything I do, whether it be our nutrition businesses, whether it be our fucking real estate, whether it be what I'm doing right now at being a speaker or being an entrepreneurial podcaster or influencer. Okay, I want to be the best ever. My goals are not to be pretty good. And when people come up and congratulate me, I want to like take the time to explain it, but then I just save my breath because I know they're not going to fucking get it anyway. All right. The reason I'm like that is because I have learned to cultivate a zero options mentality. My back is constantly against the wall. I'm constantly hungry. And you know what the great thing about what I'm talking about here is too, is that when you get to a level close to where I'm at, or even, you know, some less or more, whatever, you're going to have people who are going to underestimate you because they think you're fucking lazy. They think like, oh, you know, this guy's driving a Lamborghini and a Rolls Royce. He's fucking chilling. He's got his feet up, because that's how they would fucking live. But they don't realize that I'm just enjoying the path along the way. I'm actually more hungry than I've ever fucking been, and I'm more dedicated than I've ever fucking been, and I'm more willing to smash motherfucking faces than I've ever fucking been. Okay, that comes from having my back against the wall mentally, guys. So guys, look, zero options mentality. Appreciate the fact that you don't have the resources, because you're going to have to go out and create them, which makes you skilled, which makes you have perseverance, which makes you have endurance, which makes you have creativity, okay? Necessity is the fucking mother of creativity. All right? If you have resources, you're not going to fucking be creative. You're not going to have the persistence. You're not going to have the grit and the fucking grind and the shit that it takes to go push through shit. Because I'm going to tell you right now, nobody has that if they don't have to do it. So appreciate and work with the fact that you don't have the resources. It's your greatest asset.
This is for the G's and this is for the hustlers. This is for the hustlers, now back to the G's.